consumers are asking ChatGPT and other language models instead of Googling. So if the brands don't have any presence on Reddit, they will just not be present on the large language models, unfortunately.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, powered by Affiverse, ultimate destination for affiliate program news, insights, growth opportunities, partnerships, and affiliate program strategy. Welcome to this week's Affiliate Marketing Podcast with me, your host, Leanne Johnston. And as with each week, I'm super excited to have this guest on the mic with me. It is Mary Cooper, the co-founder of Nicely Network, arguably now #1 agency in the world for Reddit marketing. Is that correct? Is that the strapline that we use to introduce you?
If you can Google or ask ChatGPT what's the best Reddit marketing agency in the world, that they will refer to Nicely Network indeed. So I guess you can say that. Thank you for that.
Brilliant. All right. So welcome onto the podcast this week. It is a real pleasure to have you. We've been in each other's orbit for maybe a little bit more than a year. And I've been very, very interested with what you guys have achieved for not only, some of the clients that we work with, but in general in the Reddit community as well, and the ecosystem that you work in. So really excited to have you on the podcast this week, and thank you for joining me. I think to start off, let's just tell people a little bit about you and Nicely Network, and just give a little background as to how you came to found or co-found this phenomenal agency.
Thank you. The story is probably not what you expected to hear, because the reason I'm in Nicely Network is because of the typhoon on the Philippines. So, and it sounds really random, but I came to Bali many years ago, and I met our co-founder, Andy, our CEO, and he at that time, majority of the team members were from the Philippines, and it was few days before the Black Friday, so the major event for the whole company. And the typhoon, there was a huge typhoon in the Philippines, so he panicked. He met me in the workspace. We were friends already, and he asked me, "Do you want to come work with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Then the next day, the typhoon was over and the electricity of the Philippines was back, but I stayed. So I stayed and made my way up all the way from, just doing customer support and basic emails to pretty much becoming a co-founder of Nicely Network, which has been a great pleasure. And we, from being traditional affiliate agency, we transitioned into a Reddit AI visibility agency. So now we focus purely on Reddit organic content and helping brands to get cited and referenced by AI models.
So huge topic that we're going to be talking about, because everybody is aware that GEO, AEO, LLM, like summaries and shortages of what this section or segment of the internet is. Can you just explain a little bit for people that are still kind of new to this space, why being cited in channels like this is so important right now for brands?
Because the consumer behavior is changing. So people instead of Googling, you have this amazing chatbot on your phone or anywhere else. So you can just ask specific question. Instead of just Googling what kind of mattress you want to have, you're asking for specific mattress for your body type, for your budget. So it gives you obviously way better results. So you skip through all the affiliate blogs and kill affiliate revenue for lots and lots of people, right? Instead, you just use chatbot.
So we've talked about that in previous podcasts, actually. We called it the Great Affiliate Bypass, but affiliates are actually swapping their strategies now to also get into citation. And it's almost like affiliate is an extra layer that helps brands to enter into that space, but on a performance model. So, but you guys do something a little bit different. So, in the context of Reddit, where you're playing a long game, because it's a bit more like SEO, traditional SEO, most people didn't even know that Reddit is like a thing. But how big is that community? Why is it such an important channel for brands to be playing in?
Oh, it's actually huge. So 2 years ago, Reddit and Google signed a deal that allowed Reddit's data to be trained in Google AI models. And after that, you started seeing anytime you research anything, you Google best mattress, best accounting software, you just see Reddit posts ranking for everything. So that happened 2 years ago. And that was the gigantic shift, because all these AI models are now trained on Reddit data. So for brands, it's so important to have positive presence there, because as I was saying, consumers are asking ChatGPT and other language models instead of Googling. So if the brands don't have any presence on Reddit, they will just not be present on the large language models, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's really an opportunity missed, because as you said, the consumer journey is changing. The way that we search for products, for services is changing. And if you're not there, somebody else is. So really understanding how this part of the internet is fitting into your overall strategy is really important. So you said 2 years ago there was a major shift when Google and Reddit signed their deal together. But what did the landscape look like before you started the agency, and how has that changed significantly? Because how old is the agency now?
It's over 10 years, actually.
Yeah. So there's obviously been a massive shift in that time. How have you changed what you're doing to be more present in the needs of customers today?
Back in the days, over 10 years ago, our CEO, Andy, was actually doing things on Reddit. So it's funny how the agency's gone full circle from starting the agency 10 years ago and doing Reddit, when back in the days, there was some sort of, glitch on Reddit where if you would post a link twice, then it would become a do-follow. So lots of SEO people were using this trick, but then later it got shut down. But that's the reason why we still have some of the accounts that we had 10 years ago, because we've done a full-on circle. And the agency transitioned a lot. We were doing a lot of affiliate work back in the day, but now we are mostly doing just flat fee campaigns for AI visibility. Same, just the focus. When we just started doing organic marketing on Reddit, there was not even that much demand. And these days, we had to explain to people what is Reddit and why you need it, versus now, lots of brands are reaching out directly, knowing that they want Reddit. They already researched, they saw that there is a gap in their AI visibility, and they want to fill it up with.
Yeah. So how does, because you work across many industry verticals within your agency, not just, consumer products, and you've got partner brands ranging from Fortune 500 companies to fast growing SaaS businesses as well, which is quite interesting, because you would think that it's more e-commerce driven, but it's not. There's a really huge range of brands that are engaging in Reddit at the moment. And you also span across multiple markets. So I would imagine that you do a lot of, bilingual or translation work as well to, not only just working in English. But what trends are you seeing in the different countries that affiliate managers listening to this podcast maybe need to be aware of before they jump right into Reddit?
Biggest change is generally understanding that AI visibility is becoming such a big thing for brands. Before, they were not even considering spending money, investing money on that. So now it's a gigantic shift that we witness. And that's true. The clients we have, they vary from Fortune 500 companies to smaller businesses. And the majority of the content that we do is in English, but Reddit, because Reddit is the biggest in the States, is getting big, as almost equally as big in the United Kingdom. But other than that, US and Canada is still the biggest market for Reddit. But the content gets cited everywhere, so the content gets translated automatically. So if someone is Googling or asking ChatGPT in Spain, then the content would still be translated. So all these efforts are global, which is great for global businesses. We have lots of SaaS clients. Because of the nature of SaaS, you don't really scroll Instagram and spontaneously buy a subscription for a software product, right? So people do a lot of research. So we help brands to put them in front of the customers during that customer journey. And in terms of trends, I think the biggest trends is just understanding AI visibility and just wrapping their heads around it, because it's so new. There is not even proper tracking yet. There is, how for SEO, there are great tools and that everyone knows to is a go-to. But with AI visibility is still pretty much early days, and they're good tools, and like every day there is a new tool popping out. So we're constantly testing.
So I imagine you're testing a lot. You're actually looking at how to track and how to measure visibility and impact of the campaigns that you're creating for your clients. Now, I know that there's a event being held by Alex Springer in London in June. It's called Open Attribution, which is talking about exactly just this, which is how do you track the performance of the citations and the effort that goes behind actually getting into those spaces where the consumers are searching for products and maybe even comparing products. And how do you monetize that? Because without tracking visibility, it's very difficult to monetize, which is why you have to charge fixed fees, because there's a lot of time and effort that goes into these campaigns. Do you think that there's a world where you will move back to working in performance when the tracking and the visibility actually comes back into play? Because right now you can't, so you have to charge time for money and strategy, obviously. But when you start getting the visibility, you might be finding that you're actually doing yourself a disservice because you're not charging enough based on the value and the volume. Do you think that's going to happen?
We'll see when we get there, because so far it's just the attribution part is quite difficult, because we track lots and lots of metrics. We use Ahrefs, that's the SEO software that has this gigantic portion of AI visibility, so we can isolate our Reddit efforts. But then it's still, for affiliate managers in the world, they want direct attribution. And the majority of the brands that we work with, they are affiliate managers. They want to put a finger at, look, we brought this sales, right? So that's what makes things quite hard, because we know the value we provide, and it's way more than the clicks and sales that we can track. Because if you're ranking number one on Google for your target keyword, and you also are cited by AI for your money keyword, that's huge value for brands. So I think that's the biggest transition this year, and I think tools like what Alex is building is going to show brands the actual value, because we can show with Ahrefs, we provide like a monthly reporting for the clients, and we show the graphs of all the AI visibility, so we can filter out the brand versus their competitors, and even on different language models. So that's where we can point fingers like, look, this is what we did, right? So that is making our life a bit easier, because I understand if it's a flat fee investment, people want to see, wait, what are we getting in return? So luckily, there are lots of things that we can measure.
Okay, that's good, because no self-respecting affiliate manager is going to do a campaign unless I can see the ROI or the ROAS. Okay, so trends you're seeing mainly like, long tail search terms, getting into the kind of niches of different products across, different verticals. What's your most popular vertical that you work with right now?
Oh, good question. Probably still software, I think. Software is the biggest because, like I was saying, the consideration is such a huge part of purchasing the software. So people research the reviews and is it worth it? Is it legit? So we do have lots of software clients, but we also have lots of direct-to-consumer clients as well. And yeah, it's like if you would ask us what we specialize in, I would just say software and everything else is lots of
anything that's purchasable online is something that you can kind of influence and bring customers to the door. So let's dig into the actual mechanics of what you guys do, because you kind of got two core service lines. One is Reddit marketing, which is a big part of what customers are coming to you for. But the other one is article placement. So can you talk us through each of those two service models and why they're different? Just that affiliate managers that do want to kind of get into this AEO space, GEO space, that they can understand how they can do it with their budgets.
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically we have two main services. First is organic content marketing on Reddit, where we will position your brands as market leaders through organic discussions. So we don't run any ads, and we just post the content, positioning it in front of the customers who are searching for it. So our approach is AI SEO based. So we choose relevant high traffic keywords, and then we identify the communities. They are called subreddits on Reddit. So these subreddits, they could be really, really niche. So for each software, there would be a niche community that is looking for that software. For each consumer product, if it's a supplement, there would be a niche of people that are looking for this supplement. So we would go on that community, on that subreddit, and create a post on behalf of the client, as we are looking for this product and we're looking for recommendations, and then we'll have different accounts commenting and recommending the client where it's appropriate and natural. And then the second part of our AI visibility equation that we have is also the guaranteed content placements on Yahoo and Business Insider. So for majority of our clients, we run simultaneously content on Reddit and content on Yahoo and Business Insider, because the articles, they're a very quick way to get cited. So AI recognizes the authority of Yahoo and Business Insider. So it very often pulls the information from them on Google AI Overview. Reddit is a longer game, is similar to old school SEO. It takes time. So for Reddit, we would choose similar keywords, and then we would just gradually post over a certain period of time. And then eventually these posts, within 3, 4, 5 weeks, they are getting indexed by Google. They're started to get cited by AI. And this way we approach the AI visibility from different angles. I can say holistic, because brands still need to do their own AEO efforts, but we can help with these two aspects, which is powerful citation from reputable media and forum such as Reddit, where we'll position them as a market leaders.
So when people are coming to you to start a campaign, do they generally tell you the keywords that they want to be referencing on, or do you do your own research on the product and then decide how to position it?
Depends. Some of them, they tell us what kind of keywords they wanted to target because they know their product best. And especially if that's a retailer that sells 1 million things, then they need to tell us what they want to focus on. But for others, if it's a software, that's pretty straightforward what they do. So for others, some of them, they just say, you guys do Reddit, you know what you're doing, just keep doing what you're doing. We have 50-50, I would say. Some brands, they like to pre-approve the copy and make sure everything's aligned, and some they just they trust us, and not that the others don't, but they just want to have more control. And especially if these are Fortune 500 companies, they like to check every comma, which makes things very long, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So there's a range of ways that you can work together, and the amount of freedom that you have to work with partners is really dictated by the client themselves and what their internal strategies are. I've got a cheeky question. What's the craziest niche that you've ever done a campaign for in Reddit? Like something off the wall that isn't just, a normal e-commerce product. Has there been any one campaign that stuck out in your head where you thought this is going to be a difficult one, but then it actually became a success? Have you got any of those in your back pocket?
It was literally our very first client. It was the client. I think I actually told you about them when we met in Las Vegas before. It was the client in a sexual wellness industry. So it's not an easy category it's huge on Reddit, but it's not an easy category to create content for. And it's just we would meet in person and they would just give me samples. So I had a vibrator from our client.
Things we do for our craft in affiliate marketing. I mean, now you have to do product testing before you can run a campaign. But yeah, okay. So it pretty much is everything that Reddit can handle, the A to Z of, very niche e-commerce products, shall we say, in the sexual wellness industry, right up to, B2B SaaS products where people are searching for comparisons between products to use for their business, and everything in between, it's fun, but it's also quite difficult to then stand out in a space that's that crowded and that, influenced with lots of different products.
That's what I meant, that we specialize in software and sexual wellness products. It's such a big variety of.
Absolutely.
We can't even point one industry that performs best. I think software is one of the strongest, but with direct-to-consumer products, we see a lot of success as well. So again, people go on Reddit to research for anything that is above $100, 100 quid. They will go and ask questions. Is this brand legit? Is it worth it? What's the category leader in best X, Y, and Z? So there is a place for everyone.
Okay. So how do you make sure that content feels authentic to Reddit communities while still serving brands' commercial objectives? Because there's always that piece of the client wants me to do this, but then your craft, and you're like, well, it's not going to work that way. So how do you handle those conversations with clients that have got really strong directives, but where you know that you're going to have to change the tone or change the delivery a little bit away from the brief? Talk to us through a scenario where that's happened before and what the result was.
I think majority of the clients, they understand that the content is organic and UGC, so it needs to be organic. They cannot, check every single comma and put the long dash from ChatGPT. The Redditors, they're very, very tech-savvy audience, so they will spot anything that has been not authentic, overly promotional. They will tear you apart if you see that, if they see that. So we always make sure that we publish content that is within the subreddit guidelines, but so we have to balance between the subreddit rules and the client to make sure they're happy and they're presented in the best way. It's always this endless yin and yang that we are working on. So the approach is fully SEO based. So we pre-approve the keywords if that's needed, or we just go forward with the what kind of products and keywords they want us to focus on. And then we'll just always make sure that the content is nice, organic, and presents the client in the best possible way.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't always have to be 100%. This is the best product in the whole world. It has to be realistic and authentic, going, yeah, it's a good product, but maybe the price is high, or there are other products that compare in these sections. But keeping it real and authentic is very, very important if you're going to get into the Reddit space.
Exactly. This is kind of content that performs the best. Like if it's, hey, that's the best one, and here's the link, people would be like, well, this is very, very clear. Redditors are not born yesterday. They're a really tech savvy audience. So they see that. That's why marketing on Reddit is very hard. So that's, yeah.
And why it's now a specialist thing, and why you've built your whole agency around it. So if it looks easy and it feels easy, believe me, it's not. It's hard. There's a lot of tactical stuff that goes in the background to actually make that happen. I want to talk about case studies, because it's great that people are getting tactical advice in terms of how to approach Reddit for their business. But let's get into some results, because my audience also wants to know, is this really real? So because the numbers that you've shared with me are genuinely impressive, especially on the case study that you had with McAfee, which is antivirus software, so like a product or a tool, where you took their GPT share of voice from 6% to 17% in a 4-month campaign. So talk us through that case study and what you actually did with the client and how it impacted their sales.
It's the same process for every client. So we would align on the keywords, and then we would just choose relevant communities and then create the content. So the strategy is same for everyone, and it was just a pretty successful campaign. We have the same for direct-to-consumer brands. Like now, I could share another case study with the sofa brand. So that's not only we were able to improve their AI visibility, we also drove over $100,000 in sales. So we were able to use the links from Impact and then track them on 0% CPA just for tracking, because it's a flat fee campaign. And so it like that content is ranking number 1 for the target keywords. And the best part about all of that is it's all evergreen. So all the efforts that we do, they stay with the brand for a long time. So the content is getting indexed by Google, getting cited by AI, and it gains more power over time. Eventually, Reddit even archives it, so no one can even interact with that content. So the brands, they get like a real estate on Reddit and then on Google as well.
It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving, because once you've paid for it once, it just sits there forever, slowly bringing you new customers all the time. So the strategy is the execution is the same for each client, but the strategy will differ. So having a very clear understanding of what it is that you need from Reddit is probably the best place to start when a client comes to you, is that they need to understand exactly, which areas they want to plug, which products they want you to promote, rather than just saying, go and bring me traffic. Like, try and get very specific. Because I always feel like when somebody comes to me and says, yes, bring me more sales, it's like looking when you go to B&Q and you're just standing in front of a wall full of, paint choices, and you're like, which color? Yellow, bring me yellow. And there's 100 yellows, and it gets very, very tricky. So I think you need to have a very clear strategy when you're coming into this, to understand what you want the objective to be. Talk to us about the Walmart campaign, because that was big numbers. That was really, really big numbers. That was like $30 million in sales through the content that you generated. So talk a little bit about a bigger brand, and how they leveraged your services.
Can I also add about another big one? It's TikTok. So when the brand comes to us, and the first thing we ask is about the objective. So what do you want to achieve? Is it AI visibility, conversions? Could be a product launch. If the brand is launching a new product, we can go and create a buzz around it before the product is even launched.
So which part of the funnel do you want to actually focus in? Yeah. Totally.
We can be in any of the stages of the customer journey. And then the other one that we support as well is the virality. So TikTok came to us and they wanted to go viral. So they had this slash and free campaign where it's like, if they wanted to reactivate old users, if you scan my QR, I scan your QR, we can get some items for free from TikTok shop. So we drove millions of views for this campaign. We went absolutely viral, and some posts had as many as 6,000 comments on them, which is a lot for Reddit. So again, we can make different campaigns for different clients depending on what they want to achieve. With Walmart, it's pretty straightforward. It's very much bottom of the funnel. So there was mostly Black Friday focused campaign where we would target deals style keywords. So best Black Friday fridge deals, Black Friday washing machine deals, and then we would direct traffic to Walmart. We've been working with them for very, very long time. So over the years, it's been way more than $30 million in sales. So for them, it's very focused on attribution, just bottom of the funnel, and like deals style keywords. But for others, it could be so many different variations. So our top performing ones, depending on the stage of the funnel, are best X, Y, and Z. So best software for something, best I just want to make some sexual wellness joke, but I probably shouldn't.
No, you probably can from our audience.
And then, so this is best. That works really well. Then the second style of keywords that works well is the review. So, is brand X legit? Is it worth it? And then the third one could be a comparison style keyword. So, brand A versus brand B. That's obviously very much towards the end of the customer journey when they already know what they want to choose, and that's just choosing between a few of the brands. So yeah, we can support during different stages of the customer journey. Generally somewhere in the middle. So we're in the middle pushing customers towards the bottom of the funnel. So it's not just purely awareness, but it's not a coupon side, because at the end of the day, people don't go to Reddit to shop. They go to research. So that's one thing that brands need to understand, that it's not it wouldn't drive you a ridiculous amount of sales. It will drive some conversions, but then the main value definitely comes from long-term AI visibility that you get from this.
Well, the other thing is that if you are going to do a campaign like that, you need to be checking when the campaign starts and ends if all of your other channels increase, because it can have a knock-on effect to direct, to paid, to, whatever the case may be through the brand awareness. So it is important to get the tracking in place, and to have it sounds like you kind of want to have a more mature program that has access to, data, and all the other channels are interlinked so that you can track efficiently whatever the KPIs are that you want to, achieve out of this campaign. Okay, so I've got one last question for you. As you speak to multiple clients, like, what is the 3 things that a client needs to have in place for a campaign with you to be successful? Like, what do they need to come to your door, knock on your door with, and be very organized with if they want to, get into the Reddit space, try out a test campaign. And that could be like budget, brief, third point. What's the 3 things that you need to get a successful campaign off the ground?
Certainly the budget, because unfortunately we cannot accommodate all the CPA clients because of the demand and just the nature of our work and the expenses that we have. And then the second would just be the objective. So what are they trying to achieve? What kind of product they want to highlight? And then the third, it's optional, it's not mandatory, but if they can send us any brand guidance or brand voice. But generally, when working with us, we don't give any tasks to the marketing managers. I believe they're busy without us anyway. So we want to work from their hands and just do all the heavy lifting. So if they want, they can provide with all of that. If not, they can just give us the thumbs up, and then we will just move from there. So yeah, I would say just the budget, brief, and any guidance that they want to give.
What kind of budgets are we talking about? Like, what's the minimum budget for a campaign on Reddit to actually have impact?
The minimum budget that we have is $5K USD per month.
So it's not massive.
Yeah, it's just a starter campaign for the brands to get a feel of what we do, and this way, within like 4 to 6 weeks, you will see some results. You will see initial start with AI visibility, some initial citations, but then the budgets, they hugely vary from brand to brand, depending. But it's when it comes to AI visibility, the more the merrier. You need to have good quality content, but you need to have a lot of it, because AI, it cares how nicely it's written, but at the end of the day, it's just a machine that sees the frequency of that one brand mention. Is this brand mentioned more than the other brand? So that's what it mostly looks at. So you need to be featured prominently on Reddit. So our most successful campaigns were normally around 3 months, because this is when we see that the AI visibility compounds a lot, and then we report on a monthly basis with scale. We also work really quickly. We can launch within 2 to 3 business days, so we can get the campaign up and running really, really quickly. Even quicker if needed, but 1 to 2 to 3 days.
You're going to get a couple of those Black Friday people that come to you a week before and go, oh, by the way, we've got a program launched. Yeah, that's happened before. Absolutely. All right. We're getting to the rapid fire round of this podcast, which is where I throw 5 questions at you and you've got to answer very quickly without thinking. We call it shooting from the hip. Reddit marketing in 3 words.
Shortcut to AI, I would say.
Okay, it's more than 3 words, but yeah, shortcut to AI. I love it. Okay, the biggest myth about AEO that you wish brands would stop believing.
That is an overnight process. Like, it's a long process. They need to understand that it's like SEO. It takes time. So it's not going to be like a 1 week and you're ranking number 1. Like, it takes time.
Yeah. All good things do. Google or Reddit, which one is moving faster right now?
Oof, good question. Probably Reddit. They're smaller. I mean, Google is giant. Reddit is developing a lot. They had a gigantic push now after all the mega deals that they've done with ChatGPT, with Claude, with everyone. So yeah, they're moving really, really fast. They're growing a lot as well.
Yeah. Content authenticity or content scale? Which one would you choose?
Authenticity. Redditors, they will definitely see that. If it's scale and it's spam, they will not be happy. So it always needs to be authentic, organic, and written by Redditors for Redditors. Because that's what matters at the end of the day. It's not, yes, it's AI visibility. Yes, the focus is AI, but at the end of the day, it's a forum for humans, written by humans. So it all needs to be very, very authentic.
Okay, last one. Finish this sentence. Brands aren't investing in Reddit content right now, are
we allowed to curse on this podcast?
No, but you can't say stupid.
No. I'm just, they are just looking for the right partner, I would say. They are looking to the way, it's not an easy field to get in, and they should be considering this. I think the brands, they should be looking for good partners or trying to do it in-house. But it's an untapped market for lots and lots of brands that some of them are still looking at it as if it's something shady or, I don't know, they're not used to it yet. But we see more and more big brands waking up to that, and that definitely makes ripples in the whole market. Because if your competitors are doing it and you're not, you will just miss out. So,
All right, Mary, this has been a genuinely eye-opening episode this week, just to understand the impact that Reddit has had. And we've thrown about some pretty big numbers here with some of the case studies, which people can read on your website as well. But if you want to leave everybody with just one, thought or takeaway from this episode, what would that be?
Oh, that's a very good question. I would say just get started with Reddit. Even with the smallest campaigns, you would already see a little bit of the uplift, because don't forget that Reddit is number one cited domain by AI. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be changing in the nearest future. So if you're not referenced by AI models, you're invisible in the modern day. So you have to be working on your AI visibility, and for that you should be looking beyond just direct attribution of sales, because the customer journey had changed, and so did the internet, and it's very unlikely that it would reverse to what it used to be. So you need to be looking forward as an affiliate manager, as a marketing manager. It's a game of testing. Marketing is not a precise science. It's a game of trial and error. And you can try it yourself. You can use professionals for that, but just keep on trying, keep on experimenting and doing new things. Cause, that's the beauty of marketing, the beauty of life in general, I would say. It's just, trying and never stopping.
100%. And that's exactly where we're going to end this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us this week, giving a little bit more insight into what Reddit is about, how it's being used, and how big brands and small brands are using it to actually incrementally increase their sales. It's been a pleasure to have you here and hear more about what Nicely is doing as the number one agency in the world for Reddit marketing.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Thanks for having me.
I'm spending so many hours at my desk and I'm not seeing results. What am I doing wrong? That's one of the smartest questions you can ask. Listen to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast for a start, and go to affyversemedia.com for all the support, optimizations, and inspiration you'll ever need to scale your affiliate program to the stars. What's that website again? affyversemedia.com. affyversemedia.com. affyversemedia.com.